Do you feel the vibes?
What's up, YouTube? It's Carolina Calvin coming back to you with another video, and welcome to my NFL 2017 Week 3 recap between the Carolina Panthers and the New Orleans Saints. Now, the New Orleans Saints absolutely destroyed the Panthers 34-13, and the Panthers really didn't get a touchdown to really late in the game. So they pretty much had 6 points for the most part. It was 27-6. So the Panthers offense, they look terrible. And I'm going to give a disclaimer right now. If you're one of those apologist fans, one of those apologist Carolina Panther fans, if you're one of those fans who either are completely oblivious to the crap that you saw yesterday, and or you're one of those fans who, you just can't say nothing bad. It's got to be all positive. You can't say nothing negative, because you say something negative, then you're a bad fan. Please click off this video, because I have some things to say about how poorly they've played, how bad they've looked. Yeah, they're 2-1. They beaten trash. Buffalo Bills, Buffalo Bills did beat the Broncos, but I think that was a fluky game. And the San Francisco 49ers. But before I get into a rant, let's give out the numbers. Starting with New Orleans Saints, Drew Brees, 22 of 29, 220 yards, 3 touchdowns. He had all day to throw. He carved up the defense. Rushing attack. Surprisingly, the rushing attack in terms of committee actually came alive in this game. What do you know? Mark Ingram, 14 carries, 56 yards. Alvin Kamara, 2 carries, 37 yards, and a touchdown. Adrian Peterson, 9 carries, 33 yards. Ted Ginn, 1 carry, 15. And Tom Lee Lewis, 1 carry for 8. So they had a total of 27 carries, 149 yards, and a touchdown. That run game has been terrible the first 2 games against the Vikings, against the Patriots. It was bad. And they came alive in this game against the supposed good front 7. New Orleans receiving. Michael Thomas, 7 receptions, 87 yards, and a touchdown. Ted Ginn Jr., 2 receptions and a touchdown. Mark Ingram, 2 receptions, 30. Kobe Fleener, 1 reception, 21 yards. Tommy Lee Lewis, 3 receptions, 15 yards. Brandon Coleman, 1 reception for 11 yards and a touchdown. Alvin Kamara, 3 receptions for 5 yards. Adrian Peterson, 2 receptions for 4. And Josh Hill, 1 reception for 3. Defense, and I can't believe I'm really pointing out players that play well in defense. The secondary, guys couldn't, the Panther guys couldn't get open. Kelvin Benjamin ended up getting hurt, so that only really helped them out. I'm going to give them some credit because they did get some pressure on the quarterback, but the Panthers' offensive line is terrible. But they did get pressure. They went out there and they completely took advantage of the really bad Carolina Panthers offense. You're pretty much on every level: quarterback, offensive line, receivers. But I would say Cameron Jordan definitely one of the standouts. AJ Klein, guys in the secondary, were out there making some plays. They got 3 turnovers. And they got 3 turnovers on Cam Newton. So I honestly can't believe Kenny Vaccaro had an interception, PJ Williams had an interception, and Marcus Williams had an interception. So I can't believe I'm honestly giving credit to the Saints defense, but they made plays. But the Carolina Panthers helped them out a lot. But this team's defense is ranked 32nd in the league coming into this game. The whole argument was, okay, which one's going to give the bad Panthers offense? Are they going to play good? Or are the Saints' terrible defense going to finally have a good game? And you see which one is worse. The Panthers' offense is clearly worse than the Saints' defense. Pathetic. But let's move over to the Panthers side. Cam Newton, 17-26, 167 yards. 0 touchdowns, 3 picks. He was also sacked 4 times in this game, under pressure a lot. This dude, he was terrible in this game. Yeah, his offensive line wasn't good. Kelvin Benjamin got hurt, but there's so many times when he did get time, he either miss a guy or hold the ball, knowing that your offensive line isn't good. Mike Shula doesn't help him out with some of the absolute horrific play calling. The dude has like 10 or 11 plays that he calls. Stupid bubble screen just because they're trying to get Christian McCaffrey the ball so bad. You're running bubble screens. Bubble screens are used if you have speed. Corners are going to back off you. That's the only way you use that. You don't have speed. You don't have no speed. You got a bunch of slow receivers. Even with Kelvin Benjamin out there, he's a big dude. He's slow. Devin Funchess, why is he on the team? Bum. So Cam Newton was terrible in this game. This dude cares. It just seems like he cares more about the antics, the dancing, which I don't have a problem with if you're out there performing. People talk about 2015. This ain't 2015. It's 2017. He was terrible last year. I gave him a pass. He was hurt. I'm not giving him a pass. If he's hurt this year, pull him from the game. Play someone else. This game by this entire offense was pathetic. Only thing I can say which did work was, the rushing attack by committee was good, in terms of total rushing yards. No one really stood out per se. But let's get into that. Jonathan Stewart, 12 carries, 57 yards. Curtis Samuel, 1 carry for 31. That was like an end around. So that kind of skews the numbers. But it still will be over 100 if you take that away. Cam Newton, 3 carries, 16, and the lone touchdown. Christian McCaffrey was a guy. They line him up in the slot. Line him up in the slot or bring him as a receiver coming out of the backfield against a linebacker, which he can win that majority of the time. But Christian McCaffrey, 4 carries for 16. Fozzie Whitaker, two carries for 12. So a total of 22 carries, 132 yards, and a touchdown. Like I said, the numbers are kind of skewed just because of Curtis Samuel carry, which was the end around for 31 yards. Receiving. Christian McCaffrey, 9 receptions, 101 yards. He has to be the receiver, especially with Kelvin Benjamin probably being out extended time. We don't know the specifics on his injury. And also, Greg Olsen's out for a while, 6 to 8 weeks. But Devin Funchess, 4 receptions, 58. Bum. Ed Dixon, 1 reception, 8. His numbers should be better if Cam would have saw him early on in the season. He's been open. He's had moments where he's been open for touchdowns, but Cam's completely missed him. Kelvin Benjamin, 2 receptions for 8. Of course, he got hurt in that game. Curtis Samuel, 2 receptions for 5. Jonathan Stewart, 1 reception for 4. Cam also fumbled the ball twice, but he recovered both of them. Offensive line was garbage. He's holding the ball back there. Defense, all of them were bums. I don't want to point out anybody was good. I like Luke Kuechly. Luke Kuechly's a man. He's one of the best linebackers in football. He was garbage. But let me tell you who was the cherry on top of all that garbage. Daryl Worley. Bum. He was getting destroyed. He's a bum. Get him off the team. But let's continue to look at the other stats. Time of possession, relatively close. New Orleans, 31 minutes, 9 seconds. Carolina's 28 minutes, 51. Third down efficiency, New Orleans 6 of 12. Carolina 7 of 14, but didn't matter because they yielded almost no points. Turnover battle, of course, Carolina had 3 turnovers. New Orleans had none. Penalty situation, it was relatively a clean game in terms of penalties. Carolina had 1 penalty for 5 yards, and New Orleans had 1 penalty for 10. Carolina just got their ass whooped. Just to put it bluntly, they just got whooped. I gave the Saints defense credit, but I think it's more Carolina. Offensive line, the Khalil brothers have been terrible. So, they should have been benched. The whole offensive line has been trash, but Cam Newton hasn't helped them by holding the ball. Mike Shula, I want him gone. Ron Rivera is too conservative. He's just another John Fox. Only reason he still has his job because people remember, 2015, they were the Cinderella story. They made it to the Super Bowl. Fair enough. He has a coach of the year. Okay. I gave him credit for that. But that's then. This is now. He got a pass last year. Cam was hurt. Change around with the roster. What about this year? You bring in some new pieces. You don't spend a bunch of money. You miss out on so many players who, yeah, you could have possibly picked up, but no, you just, whatever. You don't pick up any of these players. And that's the problem with this team. The owner is unwilling to go out there and spend the money to get quality talent. You're getting these players who teams pretty much dump, and you expect these guys to be starters. They're not. And you see that on the field. And I expected the front seven to look good. They did not. The back end, they've been in concern. They were trash. But honestly, I'm not super surprised that they were trash. But the front seven is a huge disappointment. I expected them to play a lot better in this game. They played well in the first two games, but that's against trash opponents. So this is how I feel. I want Shula gone. I want Daryl Worley gone. Until Cam Newton can play well, until they can say he's 100% healthy, because people have been making that excuse, I want him benched. I don't care. At that point, you put in Derek Anderson. I don't care. He's more likely to make the throws than Cam. But with the way the offensive line's playing, the way the way the play calling has been, 2 receiver routes, Devin Funchess can't get open. It's been a disaster. 2-1, definitely. Out of all the teams with a above 500 record, or at least 500 record, this is definitely the worst. On both ends of the football, they looked bad. But let's get it. Before I leave you, let's talk about the schedule. Let's talk about quality teams that they have to play. I'm gonna kind of skip some teams. Patriots next week. Detroit Lions week 5. Philadelphia Eagles week 6. I'm sorry. That's 3 weeks of quality opponents that they're probably gonna get destroyed by. Week 7 is the Bears, whatever. Despite the Bears did get a good win. Week 8, Tampa Bay, division rival. Week 9, Atlanta Falcons. So you still got to play them twice. Week 10 is the Dolphins. Who really knows about them at that point? Week 11 is a bye. Week 12 is the Jets. Okay. Week 13 is the Saints. Yeah, you would think, because of that defense, but the way they carved the Panthers up, it just seems like another bad matchup. Week 14 is the Vikings. The defense against that offense, Cam's probably going to get sacked 6 or 7 times. Week 15, Green Bay, Aaron Rodgers. Week 16, Buccaneers. Week 17, Falcons, which probably won't even matter that much. So, just based on how this team has played throughout the season, I don't see them getting even close. Especially, it seems like the Falcons' division to win. And with the way the offense is played and how much the defense got exposed, there's no way they're going to get close to the playoffs. So hopefully, Ron Rivera gets up out of here, gets his conservative ass up out of here. Mike Shula gets up out of here. And they already got a new general manager, but he hasn't done anything. And it's the owner's fault. He's the one that ultimately pays these players, and he's the guy that doesn't want to bring in guys. You got these fans going to these games, and you put that product on the field. It's disrespectful. Fans buying these jerseys, and you're not willing to spend the money to get this team to a point where 2015 you're in the Super Bowl, 2016 you missed the playoffs. You're more than likely going to miss the playoffs this year based on the schedule you have and the way you've been playing. But I'm done. I seem to regurgitate the same thing every week. So it's probably going to happen again. I probably might end up doing it every week. But I'm done. If you like this video, hit that thumbs up button and subscribe. Thanks for watching.